In this video, we're going to take a look at the Midlakes Baptist Association site. So I'm going to start by getting us logged in. So to do that, we'll just add /wp-admin to the end of the URL, and then you'll put in your username and password. And it'll take you here to the dashboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk us through everything in this black column here in the dashboard, and we'll go through what items are the most important and what items are really in use on your site. So we'll kind of just start at the top and work our way down. Under updates, these are plugin updates and WordPress theme updates. You don't ever actually have to worry about these if you don't want to. We regularly go through and update everything on your site, and so occasionally a plugin update might be necessary for something on your site, but basically you never need to worry about that. Under posts, this is where you have the option for a blog function if you guys would ever want to implement that at any point. If you do want to set that up, just let us know. It'll probably take a little bit of styling, but you do have that availability and capability on your site. Up next is Accordion. I don't think this is in use on your site. Oh, it looks like maybe it is. Let's see what we believe. Maybe it's on this About Us. Oh, it's the Baptist Faith and Message, maybe? I'm not sure where this is in use. It looks like maybe we were going to use this for something and then we didn't. So actually, I don't think that's in use anywhere. But basically, Accordion Pro allows you to have collapsible and decollapsible information. So if you want to ever use this, you can basically give it a title, and then each item would have a title and then more information, so you can see how it would collapse or decollapse. And obviously it would look different than this, but it'd be that type of idea. So this is available for you to use on your site if you ever have like an FAQ page. That's where a lot of times those are in use, but I don't actually think that one. I think maybe we started to use it and then didn't. So we'll move on to media. This is your media library where all your images and PDFs and those types of files are housed. So basically everything here can be edited from wherever it's actually in use, but if you ever need to edit it from here, that's available as well. So for each image on your site, you can edit it, you can crop it or rotate it. All of these options are available to you here, and then you would just click save when you make any changes. Another item to note is that you can actually hyperlink to any image or PDF on your site, and the specific link for that media file is right here, and I can copy it here, and you'll see same with the PDF. Click to copy it, and if I paste this into my browser, it'll take me right. Oh, it looks like that was a Word doc. So those actually just download automatically, so that's why we typically encourage PDFs on the site. So for instance, you'll see how that Word doc just went straight to download. If you do the PDF, it'll actually pull it up for you right there. So that's how you can grab that link, and then you can paste that wherever you might need to. I can delete or edit anything from the media library. Like I said, I can delete here, and that's basically it for that section. Under forms, I think right now you're just using the contact and the newsletter form. You might not even be using the contact one. Let me see. Contact us. Yeah, we're just using this option. So we're not using the contact form, but on the home page, there is a newsletter form, which is in use here. So if you look, these fields can be edited by clicking on them. So I can change the field label if I want. So I can change these field labels by clicking on them. If you want to change the placeholder that appears here to something else, you can do that. If you want to add an additional field, you can just by clicking it and dragging it wherever you want. I doubt that you'll want to add any additional fields here, but let's say you did. Something that you can do is click, you want to do hidden field label. And basically one thing to keep in note is that you'll just want to copy whatever has come before. So I want to look at this field that's already in place. I see that it says hidden, use form setting below, hidden. Okay, so I want to do that for this new field, and that should work, right? So we want to say hidden, use below, and then the placeholder is going to be, and you can see it pop up there. I can also duplicate fields on the form, or I can delete this field, which is what I want to do because we don't want to save it. And then any changes I make, I'll click update. I can preview the form from here, see what it kind of looks like. Obviously, there's styling involved, so it looks a little different. If you ever want to create a new form, the same ideas are in place there. So I would just click new form, give it a title, and I can start adding fields however I want. So this can be useful for if you ever want to use a registration form for any sort of event or anything. You can use that here, or it's pretty intuitive once you get in here. And like I said, you just click and it'll show up, and I can change the label. I can add buttons, so for multiple options, and then I can just change the label and then change these. I can add more or subtract them. I can delete. I can drag and rearrange things wherever I want them to go. And then the important thing is going to be under settings, notifications. We're going to want to look and see where are these forms going to. So we want to just make sure that the email is set to whichever email we want it to be sending to. And then the from email should always include your URL. So we typically use this. So it needs to come from your URL. If you put anything else there, it'll give you a warning that that's not the best option, and some of your form entries might not go through. So you'll just want to make sure it's set to the right email, and then that you have something from the same URL. Then you can also view your form entries from here as well, so you can do the same with any of the other forms. So there you go. And I think that's basically it. So I think that should get you covered through form items. So we'll move on to the next section, which is pages. So this is also going to actually include your home page and all other pages as well. So let's start with the home page. And you'll see that all of your pages are typically broken up into little sections, and you can see these sections here. So on the home page, the first section is using Revolution slider for the rotating images here, and so that's actually going to be edited through slider Revolution, and this shortcode is just holding that place. So we don't actually need to edit anything there. If we want to edit the slider, we'll go over that shortly. Then under the next section, you can see we've got copy here, which is the same copy that is right here. And if you want to edit this, it works basically just like any sort of word processor that you're familiar with. So you can bold, italicize, change the size, you can change the alignment, you can hyperlink, all those types of things can be done here. And you can see how those are each their own section. Moving on down, you can see that newsletters is the newsletter section right here. And this is using the shortcode for the gravity form, which I just showed you. So again, that form is edited up under forms. And anytime you see shortcode, that's just a clue that there's something else at play here. And the shortcode is just allowing that to exist in the page right there. Then here we've got a hyperlink to the newsletter page, and that is formatted as a button. So that can be edited as well. And then under events, the same idea. There's the copy there and then a button linking to the calendar. So all that copy can be edited through here. And then the rest is going to be edited in other places because it's part of the header and footer of the site, meaning it appears on every single page. It's not just the home page. So let's take a look at some of your other pages just so that you're familiar with what's working and what's in play. And I want to take a look at for the church directory. This page is going to be edited. Again, it's going to be edited through this church's, it's kind of like a plugin over here in the dashboard, and you'll see that there's just shortcode here. So that's how it's not edited through the page, but a lot of the other ones are. For instance, newsletters, ministries, resources, all of those are going to be edited on the correct pages. So let's go through, let's look at resources. Again, you can kind of see how the page is broken up into these sections here. And so the same idea is kind of at play here. So we've got this first section with these items. Again, these are hyperlinks formatted as buttons. And the background on these items is a particular color, so that's edited through this tab, and you can select the color, and you can actually copy and paste this color code into other backgrounds if you want to use it elsewhere. Moving on down, there are two more sections, same idea, hyperlinked text that is formatted as a button with a header. So you hyperlink text by clicking this hyperlink and then pasting your URL here and clicking apply, but we don't have one there. And then the background on this one is kind of like an off-white, or this one is white, and then this one's off-white, like a gray. And again, you can go to this tab and click this color and use it anywhere else on the site that you would like. And you can also see that the width of the page section is 50%. So let's say we wanted to add a new section to the site. We wanted it to be this color. So I'll copy and paste this color. So we'll add a page section. Oops. This is giving me troubles. There we go. So on the background, I want it to have this same color, but let's make it sort of opaque. And then I actually want to put an image in the background. Let's try this. Obviously, you probably wouldn't use that image, but this is just for training purposes. Let's say we want to do that. Click this. I want this to be a button. Let's see how it looks. So we'll click update, and then I'll take a look at the page. There you go. So you can see that picture in the background. You can see that the gray overlay is on top of it. So again, the image is here. The gray overlay, we gave it a little bit of opacity here. And we formatted this as a button. And if I wanted it to be a 50% section, I would edit that here, but I would also have to create a second 50% section for it to show up correctly. So we'll go ahead and remove this and save our changes because obviously that was just a test and we don't want to actually use that anywhere. So let's go look at the newsletters page. Same idea is kind of at play here. So if you want to create a new section for newsletters for 2020, I'll just add a row and it's going to show up above those other rows so I can start adding it. So basically what I will do is newsletters for 2021. Let's say looks like that's using heading 2, is that right? And then that centered list, we'll just bullet it. And then, like I said, you want to use a PDF file, so we'll come in here and get this URL copied. There you go. And again, you can change the background color. You can add in picture back there. You can play around with that however you want. So you can change that color out however you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and delete this for now, and you can add that back if you want to later. The links page, same idea. These are just buttons. So text formatted as buttons on that links page. So you can see that there. Then we'll go back to newsletters, or excuse me, ministries is what I wanted to look at here. And the ministries page is really utilizing the sections as menu items as well. So you can see how we're kind of going back and forth between that gray color that we used before and the white background. And then one extra thing to note here is that on the advanced tab, you can see the menu link is children. And so you can see, if I click children's ministries, that's how it's able to go down to children's ministries. So I'll show you how that's adjusted in the menu in just a moment when we start looking at menu items. But again, same information here for adding information to this page, and then I can show you the menus items in just a moment. That's mostly everything with pages. I think there's some extra pages here because we didn't end up using them, because we ended up using those page sections for you. So let's move on down. Under comments, we're not using comments on anything. You don't have a blog. Under calendars, I did want to just point out really quick that for this main calendar, we are using a calendar that is set up through a Gmail. So you don't actually have to edit events here. This is going to auto-populate from your Google Calendar. The Google Calendar is under this Gmail. So if you guys don't have access to that anymore, let us know. We can adjust this to any Google Calendar, and we can update that calendar ID for you. And then the events will auto-populate once you add them to Google Calendar. So actually nothing needs to be done here. If you have a different calendar you want to add here, now you know where to add it, but if you need help with that, just let us know. Under Food Gallery, there is one gallery in use, but I'm not seeing it anywhere actually on the site currently. It's basically just a way to utilize galleries and make them look nice, and it's pretty intuitive. So once you get in here, you can see there's two tabs, Manage Items and Gallery Preview. So the gallery preview shows you kind of how the gallery looks. And then for manage items, this is how you can arrange them. I can delete them, and I can add additional media to them. And then the settings are all down here, and you can kind of play around with how you want them to appear, what kind of gallery you want it to be. And then you copy and paste the shortcode wherever you would like the gallery to show up. So since this really isn't in much use, if you have questions about this, let us know. But I just wanted to go over that very briefly. Under churches, this is where this directory information is located. And again, this is pretty intuitive. You can use the search function to look for whatever church you're looking for. Or if I find it, I can just click on it. And then the title is obviously going to go here. This is a little bit misleading here, so we'll want to scroll down, and this is actually the fields that you'll edit. So we've got website, map link, phone number, pastor address, all those types of items here. So that information can be edited, and you click update when it's edited, and then the image can be edited by clicking on it, and you can update it through here. And these should automatically be loading alphabetically, so no need to worry about ordering them or anything like that. And again, just click on whichever one you need. The title goes here, just so you know, and remember to scroll all the way down to find the information that you need to update, and the image goes here. Again, the update button is here. So we'll keep moving down. WP Bruiser, we want to leave this installed on your site. It's kind of like a firewall, just to making sure that there's not any spam or hacking, so it keeps us updated and in the loop on that information. Genesis is your theme. Under appearance, we want to take a look at widgets and menus. Under widgets, this is what's going to be the spot where you edit the header and footer information. So not a whole lot, but the navigation menu is in the header. The menu will actually be edited over here under menus. Then before header, you have the button that says Midlakes Baptist Association here. And that's, again, hyperlinked text. You're probably not going to edit that. And then the navigation menu here. So that's what's going to edit these two menus. Then in the footer, you have the Google Map, which you will again edit over here through Google Maps, and then this visual editor where you can edit this information found in the footer if you need to. So again, these are formatted as buttons, and you can add and edit this information however you want, and just make sure that you click Save in the bottom right. So let's move to menus. These are those menus we were talking about. So you've got two. The before header menu is going to be the one that shows up here. So calendar, contact us, and Facebook. So these can be edited if you need to change the labels on them. I doubt that you'll want to. And then main menu. If you want to edit the labels on these, you can. And then I wanted to show you on these ministries, you can see how that, remember, children was the link. So you just make sure that if you add a new section and you want it to link from the menu, what you'll do is you'll say, I want to add a custom link, and then the URL has to be ministries, /ministries, and then the hashtag with whatever new word you put into place there. And then you can give it a label of whatever you want, click add to menu, and then it can be dragged wherever you need it to. And then you'll click save if you make any changes. But we don't actually need to make any changes here, so we'll move down. Again, plugins, if you need to add or adjust any plugins, let us know. We'll be happy to guide you in the right direction there. Under users, you can edit your password here. So if you want to click on your account, you can edit the password. You can also create new users through here. So clicking add new, you can add a new user. You just need an email. And so you'll just copy and paste the password, and you can get that set up for someone else if you want to create an admin. But again, you can just click on your account and edit the password if you'd like to set it to something or send the password reset. So moving on down, a lot of these items you don't really need. So I'll just go to, these are stuff that is kind of just working in the background. It's not actually actively editing anything on your site. So we'll skip through down to slider revolution. This is what makes that slider on the homepage for you guys, which I don't anticipate you guys wanting to edit too much, but I wanted to go over it really quickly just so you had the option if you do want to edit it. So it looks like we had this slide active for a while, but it is currently invisible. So you can see that this little eyeball is kind of crossed out. That means it's invisible. And then if I click on it, it'll make it visible. I can also delete it. I can also duplicate it if I want. So these are the slides that are currently in use, these that aren't slashed out. So if you want to edit the text, you can double click on it. It'll take you to where you can edit it here. I can edit the text here as well, or I can change the link to a different link if I want. I can change the background. So right now it's an image, and I can switch it out to whatever image I want. I would just upload a new image. And that's pretty much all that's at play here. So let's look at the next slide. If you want to change out this text, can change it out here. I can click on this button, change out the text. Again, I can change out the link if I want, and I can change out the image in the background. Then if you want to duplicate one, if you want to make a new slide, my best advice is always just to duplicate this one that's already there, and then you have stuff to work with. So I can make sure that I just use the same font, I have the button ready, I've got everything in place. I can just duplicate it and switch out the information to make it for something new. That's what I always do, and that's what I encourage our clients to do. So basically just duplicate. It's going to give you another slide. So you can see these two are exactly the same. And I can just start editing it. And again, I can make it invisible while I edit it. And then I can just start changing all this information out to what I need and switching out the picture in the background, all those things. And then it's already pretty much formatted for me. I don't really have to mess with creating a blank slide. That's just a lot more work for you. So that's the easiest way to do it. As you make changes, you just want to make sure that whatever you're using fits well within all screen sizes. So your site is responsive for different desktop and screen sizes. And so you'll just want to make sure as you make edits that it looks good at every screen size like it does at the moment. And the other option here is this background tab. So you can see that I'm clicking through here to look at each item. The background, I can change out the color here, or I can grab the color code and use it on another slide, or I can drag this around, make it more or less opaque, however I want to do that, and then just click save as I make any changes. So we'll go back, and that is pretty much it. If you ever need to change your Google Maps address, that can be changed out here under Manage Locations. You can change your addresses here. I want to look at this camps page here. Make sure we didn't miss anything. Same ideas here with the page sections. You can see how those are at play, and you've got different page sections, one with a picture in the background, the color overlay, and this different information. So all that information is, again, edited under pages, this camps page here, and you can see that each section is going to have its own section within the page as well. So registration for camp is one section, then we've got a 50% section, location, then we've got this short code for the Google map. This copy here is formatted as white text, which you can see, and then the background has this image and a color overlay like we talked about. Again, these 50% sections, and you can see how it's all worked out here. So you can also use the form function for the camp registration form if you want to have those online. But if you look, we've pretty much made our way through everything over here, and that should take you through making edits to your site. If you run into any questions or concerns, please let us know, and we'll be happy to help with anything further that we can.